What's going on? Decoy here with another Warframe guide. Hopefully you've seen one of my other videos for weapon modding. If you haven't, you can always check that out. This one I'm going to be focusing on modding your frame in general. So here I've got Rhino. I'm doing Rhino not because I'm saying Rhino's the only one. You can do what I'm going to show you kind of on any frame. Rhino, however, if you are fairly early on in the game, is the easiest to get. You get him through the Jackal boss assassination mission on Venus, and then you'll just craft him, and then you'll be good to go. Mainly the reason is he has iron skin, which, as you can see, gives me 1800 overguard, and I don't have any mods on equipped at the moment. And then Roar, which just increases your damage outright. So those two things are very relevant for just staying alive, not dying. Because if you feel like you're going down in every mission, even against early enemies, your frame is probably the reason. Even if you're like, oh, I figured out weapon modding. And the fix isn't just throwing on all the mods. It's actually using the right ones. And I know when I was new, I was putting health, shields, whatever I thought actually stacked together to make it better, when in reality I was kind of way off. So in this video, I'm going to actually show you and explain to you how to survive early and what the mods actually mean. And simple mods, nothing crazy, nothing like use this and you don't even know how to get it, or you can't get it because it's on the end of the star chart or steel path or something crazy that you don't have access to. And like in my weapon modding video, I'm not using potatoes, aka Orokin reactor or Orokin catalyst for weapons. So we'll take a look here. Here is Rhino. So as I said, iron skin. Rhino hardens his skin, insulating himself from all damage and gathering overguard. And Roar grants all nearby Warframes increased damage for a short duration. That's also yourself. So in my weapon video, I'm only referencing it because I kind of talked about it a little bit. However, it's a little different when it comes to frames. I said in the weapon video, and I'll say it here, you don't want to mod. See how these are all maxed out? These are aura mods. You should specifically max these out, and I'll show you why. So I have the little polarity symbol here. Let's find one that matches it. So steel charge. If I put this on here, which squad receives more melee damage, it goes from 30 to 48, and this gets doubled. If I put on one that isn't matching, it only gives me 5. So it brings it down 2 instead of going, and then you get 5. Now, if you find one that looks like this, it has the circle, it's universal. So this brings me up to 44. I'm going to go with this because it gives us health and energy, which, if you haven't noticed, there's a little bit of an ecosystem developing, which is if you can survive with your Warframe and it keeps you alive, and if you have weapons that do enough damage, you can continue to give yourself abilities. Now, don't worry about this box here or these two things here. I accidentally unlocked them on this, but as I said, I don't have an Orokin reactor on here. So the first thing is, you're probably going to have steel charge that drops. I'd max it out and throw it on here. So we're going to do steel charge for now. It's great. It increases your melee damage. And then I have these two. So I'm going to want to find... Actually, we'll just go over to the tab. And we're going to want to do steel fiber. And I did upgrade it about halfway, so it's 5, but it does add 64 armor. And then another one you'll probably want to do is vitality. And now my health has gone up. Now, especially for Rhino, but many frames that have some sort of shield gating or health regen, you're going to want to add intensify because that increases the strength. If I go to iron skin, now I get 2,616 overguard. The time invulnerable is 3 seconds once I put it on, but we're also going to do Actually, we'll do this little trick. If I come over here, it'll tap on duration. If I tap on duration, these mods down here. So I'm going to find continuity. You might have continuity, but continuity does drop from certain enemies early in the game. Actually, I think I'm going to want continuity for how long Roar acts. I'm going to put 2 on here. So now I've got strength and range, or strength and duration, sorry. And then, let's see, these are all my durations. I don't care so much about range because, at least for now, I'm not trying to, like, hit people with Roar from across the map. It's already 25 meters, which is pretty decent. And I'm not trying to use charge. Charge is kind of like a panic thing, at least when you're new. You're not using it to actually connect to everything. You don't have the mod capacity for it, so it's more like a panic button, get away from a bunch of enemies. So we're going to go with efficiency, and we're going to do streamline. And then the last one that I would say is energy. And I would say flow. If you can do 100, that's great. That puts you at 300 energy. That keeps your energy reserves going. I might throw on shield, especially because I'm new and I have the space for it. So now I've got these all good to go. And let's go ahead and see. I'm in the simulacrum. So if you haven't gotten access to this, you do get it through doing standing for Cephalon Samaris. I believe it's 50,000 to get the key. You don't need it, but it is a nice place to come. It's kind of like a shooting range in a way for you to come and test out your guns, or in this case, our frame. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to clear this out. I don't want to do too many. I'm going to do 10 of these. Nope. Clear, kill the enemies. Let's just do 10. Actually, I'm going to put them higher up because I want to see how long we can survive for. So we're going to go ahead and put them at 50 for now. Because I'm not going to shoot them. I'm going to just stand in front of them after I've activated a few things. Let's turn that off. Let's activate Iron Skin, and now they're shooting at me. So they're level 50s, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, my overguard is going down. It is going down quickly. But if I come up here and let's say I had enough energy. Let's say I was at the full 300. As soon as it ends, I can do it again. And you can pay attention to that. And now I'm at 3,000 again. I haven't fired anything. I'm just running around and surviving. And because Warframe is a fast game, you know, as soon as you get used to the movements of the game, it lasts a lot longer. And of course, you would be firing back. I'm just testing to see if what we put on is worth it. Now, if you have his 4th, that slows everybody down. That might keep you alive a little longer. But I'm going to let the overguard end, and let's see how long. So there's my shield, and as soon as the shield disappears, now we're on health. Now Reiner doesn't have any way to get health back, but I've got Iron Skin, and as they shoot me, I can go find health again. Oh look, there's health down here. My health is going up while I have overguard. Do that again. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some mods of, or you're trying to do fun modding, not staying alive modding. Sorry. There's going to be like these. This is something I would recommend. This goes up in this slot. And when you spawn into a mission, you get, at least for me, you want this. You get 100% filled if you have it maxed out. But then there's stuff like parkour speed and toxic flight. It's kind of cool. It adds 175% toxin on a bullet jump, meaning your weapon that might not have toxic will then get toxic. That's like if you're trying to be good at like having fun and just adding something, or retribution. There's some things on here that are just, they're fun. Maybe play with them later, but if you're really trying to get through, I wouldn't waste your endo and credits on maxing them. And there are going to be more survivable health, and these 3 redirection, vitality, steel fiber, and vitality. Steel fiber, vitality, and redirection. Those might not stay on your frame forever because there's things like adaptation and rolling guard, and then you can get more strength, which means like for Rhino, his skin would be better. If you have mag, rolling guard or adaptation is going to let you stay alive longer, and then you'll have, you know, more strength to use abilities, or Volt, who can run and speed around the map. So every frame is a little different, but your key thing is to pay attention to these numbers and these numbers. However, shield just disappears quick. Like, if you don't have a way of like stopping your shield from disappearing, investing in shield just doesn't make any sense as you get further along. You might want to be someone who puts on vitality, but a lot of the time if you get something like rolling guard where you're invulnerable for 3 seconds and it removes all status effects, and then it has a 7-second cooldown, you're going to be rolling and sliding already and bullet jumping, and it'll just be activating all the time. So that's kind of it, at least for Rhino and for modifying your Warframe. This is an aura mod. They match up. These are kind of those 4 numbers below ability, and then these are the first three. You could put sprint speed on him on a Warframe, but like Volt makes sense. One of his abilities adds to his speed. Some of the other frames might benefit from it. I'm not sure. Volt is one. I know Gauss is another, but all it does is modifies your sprint speed. Energy, armor are kind of your top, plus health. Shield might be for some frames. Some frames don't even have shield. They only have health. So you're going to get, but Rhino can really take you a long way, especially if you're somebody who just wants to survive. You're playing with random people. So again, check out my video for weapon modding if you're curious. That is going to be it for this video. I will be doing an intermediate modding video. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Peace.